Jamaica's economy is on the rise, but there's a twist that could change everything. Why is Jamaica's growth slowing down, while some of its Caribbean neighbors are booming at record rates? And what surprising factors are at play? Hey, patriotic internet friends and family, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're diving into the surprising forecast for Jamaica's economy, set for 2% growth in 2024. But why is it slowing to 1.6% in 2025? And while the wider Caribbean parties with booming 7.1% growth, Haiti struggles and Guyana skyrockets with an unbelievable 34.3%. What's fueling these wild swings, and what does it mean for the region's future? Stick around as we uncover the highs, lows, and the hidden twists in this economic roller coaster. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on Jamaica's economy. Welcome all patriotic Jamaicans. The movement continues. Make we get into it now. Let's kick it off. Economic growth forecast. Those golden prophecies that make us all feel like stock market geniuses for about 5 minutes. Well, this time it's Jamaica's turn in the spotlight. But will the Caribbean nations ride a wave of success, or is there a catch? Hold on to your beach hats, folks. This one's got a lot of twists of a soap opera set in paradise. And if you think Guyana's sky-high growth rates are impressive, wait till you hear what's lurking behind the shiny numbers. Spoiler alert, super spoiler alert, it's not all palm trees and piña coladas. The good, the bad, and the, well, you know. First up, Jamaica's set for a respectable 2% growth in 2024. A modest gain, sure, but hey, it's better than a recession party. The year after, Jamaica has a slight dip to 1.6% in 2025. Looks like someone's decided to put the brakes on just as the road gets smoother. The wider Caribbean, though, they are playing in a whole different league with projected 7.1% growth for 2024. That's right. While Jamaica's sipping its economic mojito, the rest of the Caribbean is hosting a growth fiesta. St. Lucia chimes in at 2.9% for 2024 and 2.4% for 2025. The Bahamas plans to show off with 2.3% before hitting a little decline to 1.8% in 2025. Barbados, on the other hand, is eyeing a stronger 3.7% growth in 2024, dropping to 2.8% in 2025. But it's not all sunshine. Haiti, the perpetual underdog, will hit negative growth this year at a grim minus 1.8%. Can it bounce back next year at 1.9%? Or is that just wishful thinking? The wider implications, trends and tension, economic powerhouses and risk factors. And here's where things get spicy. The World Bank dropped a bombshell with its 34.3% growth prediction for Guyana in 2024 before declining to 16.8% in 2025. Yes, you heard that right. 34.3%. That's not growth, that's a rocket launch. But by 2025, they'll come back down to earth at a mere 16.8%. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic looks steady at 4.6%, but will decline slightly to 4.2% the following year. And Grenada hopes to groove at 4.3% and dropping to 3.8% in 2025. The wider Latin America and Caribbean region outlook outlook. Zooming out, the broader Latin America and Caribbean region isn't having quite as much fun. A prediction slowed down to 1.8% growth for 2024, with signs of revival at 2.7% in 2025, paints a less glamorous picture. Why? Well, factors like tighter monetary policies and a Chinese slowdown threaten to rain on this economic parade. And let's not even talk about inflation, that party crasher still lurking around. But there's a silver lining. The World Bank predicts commodity exports could offer some relief unless, of course, China decides it's time for a nap. And US growth, it's the wild card, the unexpected twist that could add a dash of hope or chaos. Here's a summary of the key takeaways. 1. Jamaica's growth, 2% growth in 2024, dipping to 1.6% in 2025. 2. Wider Caribbean expectations, 7.1% growth for 2024, slowing to 5.7% in 2025. 3. Top performers and surprises. Guyana with a whopping 34.3% growth in 2024. Haiti struggles at minus 1.8% but might recover. 4. Outlook for Latin America and Caribbean region. A dip to 1.8% growth in 2024, picking up to 2.7% in 2025. Risks include global financial conditions and China's slowdown. 5. Global context. Modest global growth of 2.6% for 2024. So what does this all mean for Jamaica and the region? Will it be smooth sailing or stormy waters ahead? Stick around and hit that subscribe button for more updates on this Caribbean economic roller coaster. And remember, the numbers might be stable, but the journey never is. Next up, a deep dive into the economic tug of war between Caribbean tourism and global markets shift. Don't miss it. Now let's get into the reason why some of our other Caribbean brothers and sisters are outperforming Jamaica's economy. The main reasons why Caribbean islands like Barbados, the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, and St. Lucia are outperforming Jamaica's economy and experiencing faster growth boils down to a mix of diversified economic strategies, tourism recovery, and focused investments. These countries have managed to leverage stronger tourism rebounds post-pandemic, effective economic diversification, and more robust foreign investments, which are propelling their growth ahead of Jamaica's. World Bank's insight on Jamaica's challenges. The World Bank made a critical observation about Jamaica's economic position, starting prudent macroeconomic management anchored in debt reduction targets and inflation targeting monetary policy with ample foreign reserves facilitated post-pandemic recovery amid the challenging external environment of inflationary pressures and tightening global financial conditions. However, financial consolidation adversely affects growth while relatively high debt service costs crowd out other government spending, including capital investment, which is critical to boost growth. Jamaica has been among the slowest growing economies in Latin America and the Caribbean region, given its concentration in low productivity services, limited technology adoptions and innovation, a weak business environment, high connectivity costs, and pervasive pervasive crime. Now me I go break down the key points in all of that. 1. Tourism versus economic structure. Other Caribbean nations have seen a more dynamic recovery in tourism, a crucial driver of their economies. This combined with targeted investments has boosted their economic outlook. 2. Debt and investment limitations in Jamaica. Jamaica's stringent focus on debt reduction and inflation control, while stabilizing, has hindered the government's ability to invest in growth-enhancing sectors. 2. Debt and investment limitations in Jamaica. Jamaica's stringent focus on debt reduction and inflation control, while stabilizing, has hindered the government's ability to invest in growth-enhancing sectors. 4. Productivity and innovation gaps. Unlike their more rapidly growing counterparts, Jamaica's economy is heavily reliant on low productivity services, with slow adoptions of technology and limited innovation. 4. Business and crime issues. Jamaica's business environment is considered weaker, plagued by high costs related to connectivity and widespread crime, further impacting investor confidence and growth. In contrast, countries like Barbados, the Bahamas, and the Dominican Republic have more diversified economic bases or are able to leverage targeted policies that attract foreign investments and foster innovation, allowing them to accelerate growth more effectively. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it. Here are some questions that you might have, along with answers to address your concerns. Question number 1. Why is Jamaica's economic growth lagging behind other Caribbean nations? Answer. Jamaica's slower growth is largely due to its economic structure, which heavily relies on low productivity services, while other Caribbean countries have embraced more diversified strategies and invested in growth-driving sectors. Jamaica has struggled with limited technology adoption and a weak business environment. High crime rates and expensive connectivity further weighs down economic potential. Additionally, strict debt reduction measures and high debt service costs have restricted government spending on critical capital investments that could boost growth. Question number 2. How does debt impact Jamaica's economy? Answer. The Jamaican government's commitment to debt reduction while stabilizing the economy post-pandemic has come with significant drawbacks. High debt service costs mean a substantial portion of the budget goes toward debt repayment instead of being allocated to infrastructure, education, and technology, key areas needed for long-term growth. This financial strain limits the government's ability to invest in growth-enhancing projects, which holds back economic progress compared to faster-growing Caribbean economies. Question number 3. What role does crime play in Jamaica's economic challenges? Answer. Crime is a major obstacle for Jamaica's economic growth. High crime rates deter investment, reduce productivity, and increase business costs. Companies may face higher security expenses, and potential foreign investors may look elsewhere for safer opportunities. This issue contributes to an environment where economic growth is stunted, further separating Jamaica from the higher performing economies in the Caribbean. Question number 4. Why are countries like Barbados Barbados, the Bahamas, and the Dominican Republic growing faster? Answer: these nations are experiencing stronger economic growth due to effective strategies that include robust tourism recovery, diversified economic activities, and more welcoming business environments. For instance, these countries have managed to attract foreign investments and pursue policies that support innovation and technology. Their growth has been fueled by targeted approaches that embrace economic diversification and capitalize on external opportunities. Question number 5. How has Jamaica's macroeconomic management affected its growth? Answer: the World Bank observed that Jamaica's macroeconomic management, with an emphasis on debt reduction and inflation targeting, was prudent and helped stabilize the economy after the pandemic. However, this strategy came at an expense of growth, as financial consolidation limited the government's ability to spend on capital investments, which are crucial for development. While Jamaica managed to keep inflation under control and maintain foreign reserves, it did so by sacrificing immediate growth opportunities. Key note and pay attention to that. Question number 6. What challenges does Jamaica face with technology and innovation? Answer: Jamaica lags behind in technology adoption and innovation, which significantly impacts its productivity levels. While other Caribbean nations invest in modern infrastructure and support tech-driven growth, Jamaica's slow integration of technology means missed opportunities for efficiency and economic diversification. This technological lag contributes to Jamaica being one of the slowest growing economies in the region. Jamaica always a grow fast in a crime though. Look at that. Question number 7. What are the broader economic prospects for Jamaica and the Caribbean region? Answer: according to the World Bank, Jamaica's economic growth is forecast at 2% for 2024, declining to 1.6% in 2025, a stark contrast to the wider Caribbean's 7.1% growth in 2024. The broader region, including countries like Guyana, with a predicted 34.3% growth, shows more promising figures due to a mix of robust resources, exports, and effective economic policies. The Caribbean's growth is fueled by a recovery in tourism, remittances, and a rebound in global commodity prices. However, challenges such as global financial tightening and China's economic slowdown could pose risk. Question number 8. Why does high debt service costs hinder economic progress? Answer: high debt service costs means the government must allocate a larger portion of its revenue to debt repayment. This reduces the funds available for public investments in infrastructure, education, and other areas critical for stimulating growth. In Jamaica's case, this financial squeeze has limited the government's ability to undertake new projects that could spur development, thereby slowing economic growth compared to other nations that can afford such investments. Question number 9. How does tourism recovery differ between Jamaica and other Caribbean nations? Answer: while Jamaica has seen a recovery in tourism post-pandemic, it hasn't been as strong or transformative as in some of its Caribbean peers. Other countries have capitalized on aggressive marketing, enhanced tourist experiences, and new investment in tourism infrastructure, which have drawn more visitors and fueled economic momentum. Jamaica's relatively slower rebound in this area has contributed to its lagging lagging growth rates. Question number 10. What future risk does Jamaica's economy face? Answer. Jamaica's economy is vulnerable to a range of risks, including global financial conditions, potential economic slowdowns in key partners like China, and challenges related to crime and infrastructure. The World Bank report highlights that tighter financial conditions globally and shifts in commodity demand due to China's economic situation could limit export opportunities and affect growth. Additionally, without significant improvement in technology, innovation, and the business environment, Jamaica's growth prospects will remain limited. I hope these questions and answers address your potential concerns that you might have and gives you a deeper and broader insight on Jamaica's economic future. Let's get into my reaction and commentary. Remember, in a previous video, I clearly said that we can compare Jamaica's economy in terms of growth and a stable dollar to countries like Barbados and Bahamas, just to name the few. Well, the results are in and numbers don't lie. So clearly, we can see Barbados had a 3.7% growth in 2024. Dropping to 2.8% in 2025. Bahamas 2.3% in 2024 and 1.8% in 2025. Now we're going to even go a bit further. We're going to talk about Grenada, as Grenada drops metaphorical grenades that completely bombs Jamaica out of the economical waters, metaphorically, and blew Jamaica out of the water, surprisingly. Grenada's growth for 2024 is 4.3% and dropping to 3.8% in 2025. Look at that. Who knew Grenada's economy was performing so well and growing so well? Now let's look at the Dominican Republic. 4.6% growth in 2024 and a slight decline to 4.2% in 2025. Now, we're not even want to talk about Guyana, because Guyana recently discovered oil. So Guyana growth in 2024 was actually a bombshell at 34.3% in 2024 before declining to 1.8% in 2025. Look at that. So you see, Jamaica have a lot of work to do. The mere fact that Jamaica uses a larger part of its annual budget to go towards debt repayment and debt reduction, there is no room to spend the money on areas that would stimulate actual economic growth, because it was a trade-off. Is either you focus on economic growth and sacrifice the debt repayment and abandon inflation targeting. So the choice was between a rock and a hard place. You had to, I guess the government had to pick a struggle. So what I want to know is what caused our government to be in this position in the first place, because outside of Jamaica or outside of everybody that was listed in this group, well, Haiti do the worst at a minus 1.8% growth for 2024. So what causes Jamaica to be in this constant perpetual cycle of debt repayment and debt reduction? A large majority of Jamaica's budget goes towards the repayment of debt. So while Jamaica managed to keep inflation under control and maintain the foreign reserves, I think we have a foreign reserves of US 5 billion, which is good. But the result of that is they sacrificed immediate growth opportunities. The World Bank says Jamaica's macroeconomic management, where the government focused on debt reduction and inflation targeting, was a prudent step that helped stabilize the economy after the pandemic. So we attack post-pandemic now, But that said strategy cost the country the expense of real growth, because it end up limited the government's capability to spend on real capital investment, which would be crucial for growth and development. So while Jamaica managed to keep the inflation under control and maintain a good foreign reserves, it did that by sacrificing the immediate growth opportunities that Jamaica would have or that would come Jamaica way. And the crime issue is another major obstacle in Jamaica's economic growth. A lot of potential foreign investors are going to look elsewhere for safer opportunities, safer environments. So the crime problem contributes to an environment where economic growth is actually stunted. Up to now, none of the party them not take a serious stance against crime. So again, a substantial portion of the country's budget go towards debt repayment instead of being allocated towards infrastructures, education, and technology, the very key areas were needed for long-term growth. So the financial strain and limits for the government under at the moment limits its ability to invest in growth-enhancing projects, which also hold back the Jamaican economy compared to its Caribbean counterparts that have a faster growing economy. Jamaica's current economic structure is directly correlated to the slow growth in the economy, which is a result of the country and the government relies heavily on lower productivity services, which means lower productivity services will not give you the amount of capital you need to pump back into the economy. Meanwhile, other Caribbean countries have embraced diversified strategies and invested in growth-driven sectors. Jamaica has struggled with limited technology adoption, a weak business environment, high crime rate, which further hold down economic potential. Up to now, Jamaica now live up to its economic potential. So this is where we need a consensus from both the JLP and the PNP. Them need to come together to solve this problem. It's what them need to work together and solve this problem. Them need to brainstorm and solve this problem, come up with solutions to get Jamaica out of this crisis, this economical stagnation. We cannot continue on the path of strict debt reduction measures and high debt service costs, which only serve to restrict the government spending on critical capital investments that could actually boost growth. I am no economic expert, neither am I a financial expert, but as a C student, we're not too dumb and we're not too bright. We can read and we have common sense, and we can analyze and take apart the information and break it down to understand where the information actually is say. And somehow, the people that are actually economic experts and financial experts still can't solve this a problem here. The question is why? Because if JLP come out of power now, this is the economy where the PNP are going to inherit. And if PNP come out of power in the future, JLP are come back on inherit the same exact economy. Nothing no change. In Jamaica, nothing never gets done. Nothing never change when it comes to the economy by either parties. You basically can always predict the future or Jamaica's economy, no matter who go in there, who come out. The economy remains the same. You using majority of Jamaica's annual budget to go towards repaying back the debt and money we want to borrow. When we are going to come out of that the whole day, then so when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next one. One love, Jamaica.